How's it once again? My hashtag we must unite familia and Ohana. Aloha kakahiyaka to you. Um, much mahalo for tuning back into the channel and welcome to today's video. And in this video, we revisit the Nashville suicide bomber story. They're coming out of Nashville, Tennessee. The Anthony Quinn Warner story. We're revisiting it because I found some new information that you might find interesting to the official narrative that's being pushed by the government as well as the mainstream media. We are here at HumanityAreFree.com, and the title of this article is "The Nashville Suicide Bomber Narrative is False, Not the Same RV." This posted to the website December 28th, 2020, and I want to give a major league shout out to cousin Nina Vandermark for sliding me this information. And it goes as follows. The joke of the day is that after analyzing the DNA of the human remains found at the scene of the Nashville bomb, the FBI has just declared the bomber died of COVID. Given the level of blatant disinformation being pushed by the deep state and a compliant fake news media, no one would be surprised to hear the FBI announce such an absurdity, perhaps followed by Anthony Fauci claiming that if you don't get a vaccine, your vehicle might explode. But something else just as absurd has now been found by internet sleuths. The RV used in the bombing doesn't match the RV found in the driveway of the suspected perpetrator. The difference isn't even subtle, it's obvious. With a hat tip to whatdoesitmean.com, which pointed out this stunning observation, we can see that the RV depicted in the photo released by law enforcement has a single horizontal pinstripe near the roof along the entire driver's side of the vehicle. See the pinstripe along the edge of the roof. So the pinstripe in this vehicle is only one. See, this is supposedly the RV that was there along the street of Nashville, Tennessee, along the side of the AT&T building. And this is supposedly the RV that exploded, and as you can clearly see, it's only got one pinstripe at the top. But in this image of the RV that's supposedly in the driveway of Anthony Quinn Warner, there are two pinstripes. Two pinstripes. See there? So, now, that's not to say that Anthony Quinn Warner could have had two RVs, right? It's quite possible he owned two RVs. But what's the chances of that? Why would you need two RVs? Especially if you're a single dude who supposedly only had, I think it was a girlfriend or a wife. He had a significant other, as well as a disabled brother. So there's really no need for him to have two RVs. So we could probably narrow it down to say that he only had the one RV. But as you can see, this RV that's in the driveway has two pinstripes. This RV in this picture, released by the FBI, only has the one. While the RV parked at the residence of Anthony Quinn Warner, whom the FBI is publicly calling a suicide bomber, has two pinstripes along the driver's side. See, two. In other words, anyone who can count to two can also see that this isn't the same RV. The red outlined square in the two images above also show a key difference in the appearance of another feature, possibly a vent that looks completely different in the two photos. See here, this vent is aligned with this window here, the top edge of this vent. Well, this is a shadow. This right here is a shadow. So this vent supposedly is lining up with this edge of this window. But in this image, the vent is way up top. Now, these aren't very good pictures. Well, it's a pretty good picture. This one is to see the vent is not a very good picture. This one's a little better. I mean, it's close to being the same, but not quite as the article suggests. But I don't know. It could be the same. But there's clearly two pinstripes in this vehicle, where clearly there's only one pinstripe in this vehicle. In other words, it's not the same RV. Someone in the deep state who was pulling off this bombing of the AT&T NSA spy hub failed to notice the difference in the vehicles, and they ended up choosing an RV with the wrong number of pinstripes. This is easy to overlook, as we didn't notice it at first either. This bombing was a deep state mission to destroy something in the AT&T building, no doubt something related to election rigging. Because supposedly, as other YouTubers have reported and other articles have reported, like the Dominion software, the Dominion voting machine software has something to do with the AT&T building, so that's why Humans Are Free is saying no doubt something related to election rigging. But that remains to be seen. We have to wait till further information comes out and do further research. But right now, it's pointing towards election rigging. The real target of the bombing was, of course, the equipment found inside the hardened AT&T building. Boom. The entire Anthony Quinn Warner suicide story is nothing but a cover story. As a bonus narrative, the establishment is now trying to blame Warner's association on 5Jiggy paranoia, simultaneously blaming 5Jiggy critics for the bombing that was actually carried out by the deep state, working in conjunction with black hat units inside the U.S. military, Army in particular. As we reported yesterday, something that resembles a missile trail is clearly seen jumping from the sky to the ground right before the explosion took place. See, there's the trail there, right before the explosion, then boom, the explosion. You can see the alleged missile trail timing more clearly in the Skyline video, now preserved at Brighteon.com. And here's the video right here. Let's take another look. I had showed you this in my last update to the Nashvillebombing, and in there, I suggested that it was quite possible that it was a directed energy weapon strike, a directed energy weapon strike. So let's take another look.
And we can get it. Watch what happens. Okay, so there's a light. Now watch by the third light.
There's the light. There's the light.
And then this.
Then boom.
Now the perspective is off a little bit because obviously you're shooting over the top of the AT&T tower, and I want to make something perfectly clear that the AT&T tower is the Batman building is not connected to this other. Well, it's connected, and it's the same company, but the other building is the one.
There's the trailer light.
Avenue. It's this totally nondescript.
I think it's a because the trailer light is moving perpendicular or parallel to the street. And if it was a missile strike, it would just come straight down. So to me, if anything, it was a directed energy weapon. But Humans Are Free are saying it's possibly a missile strike, which could be. But again, if we take a look at the video, that beam of light is moving perpendicular or parallel to the street.
Get it. Watch what happens.
There we go.
So there's the light. Now watch by the third.
There you go. There's the light.
Streams up in the air. And then this.
And then boom. So to me, if anything, it was a directed energy
Now, the
weapon strike.
perspective is,
But
is
hey,
off a little bit
I'm no
because,
expert.
obviously
Don't quote me on
you're
that.
shooting over
You're
the
free
top
to
of the
disagree with
AT&T
me.
tower.
Decide
And I want to make
for
something perfectly clear.
yourselves.
The AT&T tower, the Batman building, is not connected to...
This explosion appears to have initiated slightly above the RV itself, not from within the RV. We are currently calling it a missile, although others have pointed out the possibility that this could be the result of a directed energy weapon fired from orbiting weapons platforms. Now, I posted this to my Twitter feed because I found this on Twitter, and it suggests what it suggests is that this is the RV that Anthony Quinn Warner parked, and the directed energy weapon strike happens here. Now, I don't know if this is actual footage of the actual street there in Nashville where the explosion happened. Someone posted it to Twitter. This is MG Show at In the Matrix. He posted this December 26th. It could be the actual explosion, or it could be something else. Let's take a look, yeah? And I'd like to hear your comments and your thoughts as to if this is possibly an accurate video. So hit me up in the comments section with your thoughts and comments about this. So once again, this is supposedly the RV, and the weapon strike or the missile strike, whatever causes the explosion there in Nashville, Tennessee, is supposed to happen right along here. Let's take a look. There you go. Now, as we remember from all the footage that we've seen about the Nashville explosion, the thing took out a whole bunch of real estate as well as parked cars and trees. But in this video, I don't see too many parked cars or trees. Yeah, I see a couple parked cars up here, here, and here. But in the pictures of Nashville, Tennessee, and that street in Nashville, Tennessee, there was a whole bunch of trees, and there were more automobiles and vehicles parked along the side. And the building was much bigger. So I am thinking this is not an accurate video. But I wanted to show it to you all because I did post it to my Twitter feed, and that's why I headlined it as things that make you go, hmm. Again, I don't think this is an accurate depiction of the Nashville, Tennessee explosion. I'd like to hear your thoughts and comments in the comment section. But what we do know is that the RVs in these pictures are not accurately the same. This RV only has one pinstripe at the top. This RV that supposedly was parked in his driveway had two pinstripes. So, is it possible that Anthony Quinn Warner owned two RVs? It is possible. What's the likelihood of him having owned two RVs? Not very good, because who needs two RVs, right? But it's always possible. So I just want to throw that out to you guys too, as well, for you to consider in your decision making. Because again, you're free to disagree, decide for yourself. But as I've been saying, this whole thing smells fishy, and it smells of a fake flaggy. A fake flaggy. Definitely the narrative is false, and to me, it smells like a fake flaggy or it's a psyop. Either way. But the narrative is not correct. I think we can all agree with that. So, my hashtag WeStillMUSTunite, Familia and Ohana. That's my video I have for you today. As always, till next video, stay safe, stay vigilant, Peace and aloha.